And after 2 years of service, you can actually earn $500 per metric. So that's $2,000 every 3 months, $8,000 a year in bonuses and incentives alone. Where are they doing that at? Come on now. Now, what are the pros and cons of working at Quality Carriers? Well, let's start with the pros. First things first, the training is very good. Now, orientation slash training is 5 days and it's actually very, very fast. And the reason why it's very fast is because they do the vetting process prior to you coming in for orientation. So that means you have to do your DOT physical, your drug test, and for those of you who are wondering, it's urinalysis, not hair follicle. You do your background check, you do onboarding paperwork, you do all that prior to coming in for day one. And this is contrary to many other mega carriers that are so unorganized that they make you do the vetting process while you're there. And that's how a bunch of people who show up on day one end up dwindling out, weeding out by day 5. Hey, I'm just saying. In addition to that, if you live pretty far from the main terminal, they will set you up with a rental car and a hotel room. And the hotel is actually pretty nice. It's not a rinky-dink hotel room unlike certain other mega carriers. And training compensation is $250 a day. Now, this compensation is based off if you're in the ANO PA Terminal 115 training center. I don't know about the other training centers across the country. And granted, there are only 5 dry bulk terminals because we're such a small division. I don't know how they pay, but this is how we pay out of my terminal. And once you're out of orientation, you will transition to hands-on training where you're also paid $250 a day. Usually hands-on training is 5 days, but if you want more days of training, you can definitely request it. And if you find yourself in a bind, like, I was, you can actually ask for refresher training. And this actually helped me significantly. Side note, I ran into a situation a couple weeks ago where I clogged my trailer and I wasn't actually trained on how to unclog trailers. So I had to text my trainer for help to see how you do it. I watched YouTube videos. I couldn't for the life of me get that trailer to unclog, and I unfortunately had to take it back. Very long day. Had to use my 16-hour exemption. It was exhausting, etc. But luckily, they let me train with him again so he could show me what to do in those troubleshooting type of situations. And what's odd is that he tried to show me how to clog a trailer, but it never actually clogged while I was training with him. So it was just the most bizarre thing ever. But luckily, I ended up clogging last Friday and I was able to unclog it by myself. I was so proud, you guys. Oh my God, it was amazing. But yeah, that was basically the situation I was in. Thankfully, they were able to, help me, guide me through that. But yeah, moving on, I want to talk to you guys about the bonus and incentive program at Quality Carriers because I feel that it's very, very generous and it's just too good to be true in my opinion, but it is true. Here's what it consists of. It consists of 4 metrics, and I'm actually going to look off of it because I don't know them off the top of my head. So these 4 metrics are actually incident-free driving, your driving score, on-time deliveries, and safety video completions. And when you're first starting out, each metric is worth $150. So every 3 months, you'll receive an extra $600 on your paycheck. Now, all of these metrics actually accrue over time, like how much you can earn. And after 2 years of service, you can actually earn $500 per metric. So that's $2,000 every 3 months, $8,000 a year in bonuses and incentives alone. Where are they doing that at? Come on now. I want to talk about their paid time off because they have a very, very generous PTO system, but it's kind of confusing if I just explain it to you. I have to actually show you, so we're actually going to switch over to the screen recording. So this is the PTO policy at Quality Carriers. Now, you don't get anything your first 2 months, but after 2 months you get 16 hours of PTO. Now I started in August, so in November I should get 16 hours, but I have to use those 2 days before the end of the year or else I lose it. So that's kind of a con with the PTO. You have to use it or lose it. Now, after 6 months of service, you get 1 full week of vacation time off. However, you have to, again, use it or lose it, because by the time you hit your 1 year mark, it's going to reset and you get an extra one, not an extra, you actually get 120 hours, which is 3 weeks of vacation, your 1 year mark. So I started in August. So in February, which is 6 months from now, well, 6 months from August, I will get 40 hours of vacation. But I have to use those 40 hours before August of next year, because August of next year, I'm going to get 120 hours, and I'm going to lose whatever hours I didn't use out of that 40 hours, if that makes sense. Now, here's the thing. August of next year, I'll have 120 hours of vacation. I have to use all 120 hours of that vacation before January of 2026. I hope you guys are following me, because January 1st, every following year, you get a new set of PTO days. You get a new set of 120 hours. Your first 2 to 4 years of service. After your 5th year of service, you'll get an extra 160 hours. So this is 3 weeks right here. This is 4 weeks, 160 hours. And then 200 hours is 5 weeks of vacation. So every January 1st, you get a new set of vacation hours. And whatever you didn't use, you'll lose. I hope you guys follow along with me with that. Comment down below if that confused you. I hope it didn't. It kind of confused me at first, but it makes sense to me now after, sitting on it. But that's the vacation time policy at Quality Carriers. Now, as for the benefits, I don't think there's anything particularly special about the benefits, the health insurance, dental, vision. They have to be ACA, Obamacare eligible, so basically expensive for it to qualify as real health insurance. But I do think it's important that us as truck drivers have health insurance, because we're just not healthy. Collectively, we were very, very unhealthy. So I think it's important to have that coverage to offset any health issues or unexpected health related expenses in the future. That's what I think the purpose of insurance should be. Now, Quality Carriers, they have the traditional 401k and they have 401k Roth. Traditional 401k, it's pre-tax dollars. 401k Roth, they take it out of your paycheck once it's been taxed. They take out 4.5%, and the company, they match 50% up to 10% contributions, by the way. But yeah, that's how the 401k plan works. I'm not 100% expert on this, but I'm just sharing the information with you guys. I hope you guys find that helpful, and I will move on to the cons of working at Quality Carriers. Now, when you go to orientation, the material is only tailored towards liquid chemicals. Now, if you go for liquid chemical training, then you'll actually receive hands-on training on site, because all they do all day is actually simulate delivering liquid chemicals. But dry bulk, on the other hand, there is no hands-on training at orientation. Instead, you have to have hands-on training with your trainer. And like I said earlier, that's actually a con, because I had a situation in which I had to unclog my trailer, but I wasn't actually showed how to do that in training. So I was literally referring to YouTube videos and texting and communicating with my trainer on how to do it. I wasn't successful, of course, but yeah, that is a con. I would prefer for there to be a hands-on dry bulk training somehow, some way at orientation. I'm not sure how they can make it work, but that'd be something I'd love to see. In addition to that, the material is only for chemical training, like I said, and that's great if you are trying to get your hazmat endorsement, because it actually qualifies as ELDT training. You don't need your hazmat endorsement for the dry bulk division, but you don't actually get any information on how to operate pneumatic tanks. There is no material on such a thing. It'd be nice to have it incorporated in the classroom. I'm just saying, that's just me. But yeah, another con is actually the fact that we're not paid hourly as local dry bulk drivers. For local truck drivers, it's worth it. It's much worth your time to be paid hourly because you work long hours. But let me give you guys an example of how it's much better to work for an hourly wage as a local truck driver. To make 1,600 to 1,800 a week as a local driver at Quality Carriers, you basically have to work around 65 hours. Now, I do have an hourly wage, and that basically is for if I have breakdowns, detention, do recoveries, redeliveries, etc. That hourly wage is $25 an hour. Now, if I work $25 an hour with overtime at 65 hours a week, that will put me over $1,900 versus making $1,600 to $1,800 on percentage pay. That's just me. That's the reason why I prefer hourly pay. Now, I get that things can change, freight can slow down, the hours can be reduced. You have no control over that. But I still stand by the fact that hourly pay is better than percentage pay, cents per mile, definitely, and any other type of component pay scale, whatever. Now, I don't really see myself leaving this company anytime soon. Right now, I'm focused on paying my student loans. I have been paying them off about $255 a week. I have about 16,900 ish now. And I actually like that because most of the payments that I've been making are going towards the principal and not the interest. Because that first big payment that I made, most of it went to interest, and that was honestly terrible. I feel better now that I'm making weekly payments. I'm going to just knock those out. That's my primary goal. And I think it's important in trucking to have goals. But yeah, those are my pros and cons about working here at Quality Carriers 1 month in. This is a great company. Definitely recommend it. If you enjoy videos like this, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm Tasia Woods, and I'll see you next time.